carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio. You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Today on the program, we preview Oklahoma. Previewing Oklahoma and the non-handshake heard around the world. And the great Watson Brown on a Wednesday with Watson Brown. We have a lot to talk about today. Hey, sports are, sports are played by human beings, and human beings, just like myself, we don't always get it right. And I'll tell you what's happened here, because I tell you, I just kind of keep it 100 with you. It's my nature. I love that it's baseball season. And I love that we're getting to crunch time in hoops. And then here recently, Kim Caldwell has turned the Lady Vols into something you have to look at. Like, I watched last night's game just to see if it was going to get out of hand or what, and then I just kept watching it. Because at one point, hey, Bri, at one point in that game, they were down by how many? What was the number? They were just getting drugged, right? At one point, like 25 or something?
I don't think it was quite that bad, but it was at least 15, if not more, probably 16,
it was way
17.
More. No. It was over 20. Because I was listening to...
Because I'll be honest, I didn't watch the whole game.
I
sort of had on other stuff. So it just, when they got way behind, I sort of just tuned out. I wasn't as interested. I knew they weren't going to win.
Her volatile nature has made this thing so... how do I do this? Her volatile nature has made this like must-see TV for me. It's kind of interesting to watch. And they've got this team that's like really highly paid, but they don't play hard. It's an interesting advertisement for the era that we're in right now. It's such a crazy era. You got Vitello yesterday. See, Vitello got managed yesterday. He had to walk back his comments. He was never managed at Tennessee. Danny White admittedly said, I never had anything to do with these. I don't have anything to do with these people. I don't talk to coaches. Like, huh? When he said that, when we were talking about that before he said it, and y'all didn't believe me when I told you, because you're making that up. I didn't make anything up. Nothing in me to make something up. And what's in that for me? And Tony yesterday had to clean that thing up because when you're managed, they could doing exactly what do you think this is? And so you get managed and you clean things up. But when you're not managed, that's why I like watching this Kim Caldwell, because she's not being managed. She's not being managed. And Cinco, what'd you think of the blow-by handshake, which I don't make a lot out of? It is what it is, but more than your team getting just blowed out by a team with your payroll's like twice as much as theirs. She's so interesting. She's made this thing like almost must watch. It's so interesting. What do you think, Sink? Did you see any of the game last night?
No, I didn't. I had another commitment, but a couple things. First thing, I didn't see the same thing in the Vitello original presser, but that's why I appreciate you. And I mean this. You were able to see things in public settings and press conferences and media and distill them down much better than I can. And I always, 9 times out of 10, I find that your take on something is more accurate than my initial take. So I think Vitello is always a stream of consciousness.
Yep.
I think he wakes up in the morning with a chip on his shoulder. That makes him great. That also makes him vulnerable. And he's not alone. There are other people like that. Bruce Pearl, Kevin O'Neill, just the people here.
Yep.
So I think you're right. I think that it'll be interesting to see what effect managing Vitello has, because he succeeds because of the way he is.
Yes.
If you were to dull that edge,
yes,
does he still have the same? I don't know. Now going over to Kim Caldwell.
Well, to your point, only Tony Vitello last year, and he didn't like us making fun of him last year over the but that's never stopped me from saying what I think on here. He didn't like when we cracked on him last year. I think it was the Auburn series on that Friday night when he was hell-bent on starting that baseball game, when all the meteorologists and everybody around him and the umpires and everybody involved, they were all like, hey, man, he goes, no, I just got somebody I got on the phone. And this guy is such a force of nature. He thinks he can hold off weather. I mean, this guy, you don't get the Tennessee gig off the ground the way it was, as morbid as it was, and play at that level unless you're not wrapped too tight, Sean, which he's not wrapped too tight.
No, but the things about him, you take a look at the whole picture. One, I'm not trying to get into social aspects, but his family aspect is not normal, meaning he's a single guy.
Yes.
But you take a look at that, is you can see where he puts 150% into what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And other people choose a different way, but that makes him, that's his genius. And genius is not always understood, and genius comes with ripples that affect them negatively. I mean, the greatest musicians, Mozart, etc., the greatest athlete. You take a look at Michael Jordan, what drove him, and when you see his Hall of Fame speech or whatever, you just go, wow, that's interesting. But it'll work its way out. Nobody works harder than that guy. That guy has impeccable people skills. He surrounds himself with great people and gets them fired up and charged up. So he will do fine. Major League Baseball may not be for him, but he will, like Saban. NFL football was not for Saban, and Saban's the greatest of all time. So we'll see what happens. But Kim Caldwell, I just wonder, you take a look long term, and she comes from a very small program. She was hired by a new AD.
Yes.
Because of the way she did things. They assembled an all-star assistant coaching staff for her that was known for recruiting. They pumped a lot of money into the thing, as you just previously said. Mm-hmm. And so it just, how does it come together? But one thing is important to me is I can understand Kim Caldwell's competitiveness. However, she's not in the same league of competitiveness as Pat Summitt was. Let's get real. Pat Summitt would absolutely go to war with you, destroy you, etc. And if you got the better of her, she was going to stand at half court and shake your hand, tell you how good you did, and be done with it. Pat Summitt there's no one tougher. She built a legacy here of the Lady Vols that, in my opinion, is being tarnished.
Well, here's my thing.
Not by the losses, but by how the head coach and the players are comporting themselves.
Here's my thing. So I was last couple of days on here talking about how our fans act like in men's hoops, like we're the Lady Vols. Like we're getting whacked by people on a nightly basis that can play. When you have a team that's beaten Houston this year, when you have a team that has some loud wins, when you're in a league where a Georgia goes on the road, Brian, a Georgia we were talking about yesterday, not on the bubble, because I don't even know what a bubble is anymore when you have as many teams get in the tournament as get in. But when Georgia goes up there, Bri, and the Kentucky Crisis Hotline is open. We are taking your calls. We are here for you today. That's a league we're in, Bri. That's the league we're in, man.
I think that's going to make some Tennessee fans even madder that they couldn't beat that Kentucky team.
Well, that's true.
They got 2 games against them. You had big leads. You blew them both.
Here's my memo. The Lady Vols are coached by somebody it feels like she's out of her depth. No offense to her. And that men's basketball team is coached by a Hall of Fame coach I was talking to Russell Smith today, who's throwing up 20-win seasons. He said somebody DM'd him and said, we need to teleport some of these people back to the Wade Houston era so they can feel it. And maybe a couple of seasons of that would wake people up and shake people up. Wake and shake and bake. Shake and bake. Because some of you, that's the reality. You've made it all about how far you're going to go in the tournament. There were years we didn't even know we didn't even think we were getting into the tournament. There were years we would get the Lenardies or the Palms on and beat on those guys. Put us in there. Come on now. Put us in there. And you can't listen. Listen, you can't fake gravitas. You can't fake a man that's at the top of his profession in Rick Barnes. You can't fake that. You can't fake that. And some of you need to get your head out of your rectum. So Mason Young's going to join us on the Tulsa World on the other side. And we're going to do a quick preview of Oklahoma. Also, I'm going to check in on Oklahoma football as well, just to do that. And what their baseball team looks like this year. And Cinco, you and I are going to stretch out. We're going to ease the seat back, as David Lee Roth said in 1984. And we're going to peace. Because that baseball team we have, that Blaine Brown, a star is born, Lady Gaga. Go! Cinco, how fired up, focused, prepared are you right now for this baseball season? It's coming at us.
I'm really fired up because it looks like there's competition at every position. Wow. There are people that are the new people that look like they're pushing the other people. It doesn't. I mean, who knows? But it doesn't appear that everybody's just absolutely given. I mean, perhaps Reese Chapman, but everybody is in play and can play on the weekend. So, and you know what I really like? I really like 2 players have said that they just love playing for Eland. This is not a slight on Tony V, so don't take it like that, Tony V. They just love playing for Elander because he cares so much about the players through recruiting. He's always positive. I heard Tegan Kuhn say that, and I heard one other player say that they said we just want to win for this guy because he loves us so much. You don't fake that, and that's not an overnight thing. That comes from a long-standing relationship. So it may sound like I'm turning the page. It's not. I appreciate what Vitello did. He built this place. He's bigger than life. And I also appreciate in the next chapter what Elander's hopefully going to do.
Absolutely. One can build off the other. But we have a lot to get into. The status of Estrella we're looking into. I'll come back to you, okay? We're looking into that. But obviously, you've seen his listing for tonight's game. He obviously has trouble staying healthy. Some degree, you really got to feel for the kid. He had a great game. He's coming off a couple of really good games. And his body, to this point, his body just hasn't cooperated. It's too bad. As we continue with more on the other side after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Chilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. T to the B back with you, 865-200-5402. As we welcome you back, we're pretty fired up, we're pretty focused, we're pretty prepared for our next guest. He's Mason Young, Tulsa World. He's incredible. I love him. Anytime we have this guy on, I smile. He's very informed. He's a great man. He's got his finger on the button and his finger on the pulse. I don't think you got your finger on the button. I don't want to be putting that responsibility on you, but you got your finger on the pulse, Mason. And how about this Oklahoma team? I was telling you during the break, I was watching the Lady Vols last night. Lady Vols, they like to go out and score 80 points and then give up like 95. They like to run up down the floor and let you score at the other end. And I thought to myself, we got Mason on. That's what Oklahoma basketball looks like half the time when I watch them. They have these great offensive numbers, but on defense, they don't even pretend to try and guard people, man. What's going on, Mason?
Yeah, like you said, the defense has been horrendous this year, and obviously they've won the last 2 games, but against Vanderbilt and Georgia that were not at full strength for those games, had key players out due to injury. But before that, they had lost 9 straight. So they're 3-9 in the SEC, trying to string some wins together here at the end of the season. But I highly doubt it's going to happen in Knoxville tonight. And it's for the reason that you said, Porter Moser, 5th year here at Oklahoma, just made the tournament for the first time last year. That kind of saved him, and now it's tracking like they're not going to make the tournament, and he might be out at the end of the season. But his big thing coming from Loyola Chicago and the runs that they had has always been defense, and they've always been, pretty good, top 30, top 40 team in KenPom in defense the last several years, and then this year they're like 100 and something. I mean, the effort has just been really bad. And I think it's just been such a strange team because 4 of their starters are transfers that they paid a lot of money to get. Mm-hmm. And this team just really hasn't gelled like anybody hoped. And it just feels like a bunch of mercenaries. I've wondered all season if these guys even like each other and like playing with each other.
Again, I'm back to that Lady Vol comparison. They did the same thing. They spend like top 5 in their sport. And you see this in college hoops. It's like you can't fake chemistry and you can't fake, culture. And I don't know how you can have culture when you don't have any holdovers. Barnes is a huge culture guy, right? But I think to some extent with this year's team, they struggle with that a little bit in terms of your identity, all these people getting used to each other. And sometimes it comes out to an uneven product. But one thing I can always count on with a Rick Barnes team, they're not going to not hustle down the floor. And I don't mean to belabor this, but when I watch that Porter Moser team, they're completely different than the team he had in Chicago, who was built on that tough defense, built on toughness almost. And this is almost unrecognizable. What is it become? You think it is a byproduct of the portal and he's just being forced to play the hand in front of him and he's ultimately going to run out of time? Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly it. I think he's an old school coach who hasn't really adjusted to the times. Like Loyola Chicago, when you think about the Final Four run, the Sweet 16 run, those teams were full of guys that were, fifth years, guys that, redshirted or got injured and got extra eligibility and stuff like that, guys that had been at Loyola in his system all that time and just knew it like the back of their hand, knew each other, knew how to play together. And that type of team just is not a reality anymore. It's just not. And he's scoured the transfer portal every year. It's felt like, every year he's been like completely rebuilding, the main parts of the team from the ground up. He was fortunate last year that he lucked into Jeremiah Fears, eventual NBA lottery pick, deciding to back out from Illinois and come to OU in the summer. And that kind of saved him. But, that's really kind of the only like development success story that he's had to his name is that one and done year of Jeremiah Fears. And yeah, it's not trending in a good way because the times have changed and he's really struggled to adapt to it.
The great Mason Young joining. All right, Mason, it's baseball season. Sooners are off to a pretty good start, man. That was an impressive run by the Sooners over the weekend, huh?
Yeah, I mean, to go down to Arlington and go 3-0 against, some solid programs in Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and then TCU, who was ranked 10th going into that game. It is a really good start. It's really funny. Skip Johnson, is now in, I think, his 9th year as head coach at OU. And he was Augie Garrido's pitching coach at Texas for a long time. He's worked with a lot of big leaguers, Clayton Kershaw, probably most notably. And the guy just knows pitching. I mean, he lost their entire weekend rotation got drafted after last season. And, they completely, retooled that thing. It's like the third, I think this is like the third or fourth time since he's been here that they've had to do that the weekend rotation's been so good that they all just go out the door and you got to start from scratch. But so far, so good. I mean, Cam Johnson was their opening day starter. He's a electric lefty. He had 11 strikeouts against Tech. And then LJ Mercurius, the Saturday starter against OSU, had 12 strikeouts and 5 1/3. So they're going to be able to pitch. They always have been, and it looks like the offense is turning up. I mean, they scored double-digit runs in all 3 of those games and run ruled TCU on Sunday, which is just kind of crazy. I think that's the thing that limited them in the SEC last year was just not being able to score a lot of runs. I think the concern I have with them is they kind of do this thing every year where they really show out in the non-con and then conference play and the wear and tear of the season really gets kind of tough. And a lot of their, like, against the best teams in the SEC, LSU, Arkansas, Texas, the highest ranked at least, those series this season are all going to be on the road. So their schedule is absolutely brutal. We'll see how they handled it. I am excited for, and we talked about this off air, but Tennessee, when Tennessee comes to Oklahoma, they're actually not going to play the game or the series in Norman. They're going to play it at the minor league park in Oklahoma City. So that should be pretty fun.
How about that, Brian Hartman? Because I've seen games on ESPN Plus where they've played. Haven't they played in Oklahoma City? They'll play Oklahoma State there every once in a while, right? When they play like midweeks.
Yeah, sometimes they'll do that, or they'll play at the AA stadium in Tulsa, and obviously the
cool
Big 12
park.
championship.
Yeah,
the Big 12 championship was in Oklahoma City for a long time.
The AA park there, or the park that you're talking about, is pretty neat looking, right? It's got a pretty great layout. I mean, I think that's a very interesting and fun thing. So the Tennessee series is going to be held where now? At the Oklahoma? Did you say Oklahoma City?
Yeah, Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark is in Oklahoma City. It's the Comets. They're called now. They're the Dodgers AAA.
Okay,
and then the AA, the Drillers, is in Tulsa.
And they're counting on Tennessee fans the thought is the Tennessee fans will travel and fill that place up because Tennessee baseball fans have gotten the rep around the league that they will travel, and they do travel. And this team is probably going to be playing at the top of the sport when that series happens, looking at this Tennessee team early on. And you think Oklahoma's going to be right up there when that series happens as well? Or is this going to be one of these deals where Oklahoma has a great start and then they tail off? Because I know they've done that in the years past.
Yeah, we'll see. The SEC is just such a grind. I think last year, I can't remember if this is regular season or if you combine, this is combining. They won a few games in the SEC tournament, but I think they finished like 16 and 17 in regular season SEC games. I think, they could maybe do a little bit better, but it's probably somewhere around there. They're going to be, like middle of the pack in the SEC, but, good enough that, hey, they're a tournament team. And if you get in and get hot, which is, pretty much what happened to them back in the 2022 season when they went to Omaha, they were kind of just okay in the regular season. In fact, I think they had one awful weekend where they got swept at home by like Lamar University. And this team is not even any good at all. But then they got hot late. They win the Big 12 tournament and they go all the way to Omaha and winning on the road, winning Florida's regional, winning a super at Virginia Tech. So if they just, kind of hold serve in the SEC and then get hot late, there's no telling what they could do.
So we're mixing in these sports. In the SEC, all these teams attempt to play them at a high level, but now that it's a money thing, you have to sort of pick your spots. From Oklahoma's perspective, where does baseball, in the fan base, right, where does it rank in terms of their priorities? For instance, is softball more of a point of emphasis there? Are there other sports that sort of crowd the thing? Football obviously is number one. Who's number two on that campus?
Yeah, I think if football is king, softball is queen. Definitely.
So there are two.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's three on the campus?
Then it's really kind of a mixed bag. So the sports that are getting rev share from OU are football, softball, men's and women's basketball, obviously, baseball, and then the women's gymnastics team, which has won like 7 national championships.
Wow.
And like 2 of the last 3 or 3 of the last 4.
And I guarantee
like
they're
that.
paying. I mean, obviously they're playing to pay and paying to play and all that stuff. So, that's an interesting thing, that gymnastics deal, which is something we don't have here. I've often wanted Tennessee to have gymnastics. I find that to be that's a captivating sport, how talented those gals are and just incredible athletes. But and it's very popular. Do they draw big crowds there at in Lloyd Noble for that?
That's really the struggle. They have a meet against LSU, who's also obviously really good at women's gym, actually Friday night here in Norman. And I would think that they'll have a pretty good crowd for that, but their like just typical meet to meet crowd is not very good.
Wow.
And part of it is because I think part of it is just, the nicheness of the sport, but also like the fact that Lloyd Noble Center is just way too big for its britches. I mean, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, but like it still seats like 10,000, and the average men's basketball attendance this season is like 6,000 and the women's is 4,000. And so they need to downsize. Unfortunately, it was just a couple weeks ago that they finally got through all the legal cobwebs of the new basketball/gym arena that they've been trying to build off campus for like the last 3 years. So that's moving forward. That should be shovels in the ground pretty soon. And they're going to downsize that to 8,000 seats and try to pack that place out for everything. And I think that has the potential to be a really good thing.
Someone tried to burn the building down last weekend, right?
That was crazy. I mean, we're just, it's just mid game against Georgia, and you look up and see people, walking out of the arena, and the players and coaches leaving the court and going over to the benches, and you're like, what's going on? So you look up from the media seating and the bleeds, and across the upper concourse, it's like, oh, there's a fire over there in the concession stand. It turns out, a popcorn machine just all of a sudden, burst into flames. And it's kind of funny because Porter Moser, when he got hired, he talked about this the other day after the new OU Arena thing kind of popped up in the news again and started to surface. When he got hired, a new arena was a big piece of the conversation. And he said that when Kelvin Sampson was at OU, 90s and early 2000s, that Kelvin thought he was getting a new arena to replace the Lloyd Noble Center. That's how long it's been that taken long? Yeah, it's how long it's taken to finally get this thing off the ground. But Porter has always, whether it's just like making jokes about the leaky roof at Lloyd Noble Center, because it does have a leaky roof. If you come to a game, you will see a trash can catching water somewhere. I promise you.
That's awesome, man.
And so it's just the popcorn machine fire is just another thing. It's like add it to the list of all the reasons that Lloyd Noble Center, which is 50 years old at this point, needs to be through, and they need to get into a new space that's a little bit more inviting.
A buddy of mine was listening to us yesterday. He was in the sport, and he was driving around. He was in another city, but he texted me yesterday during the deal, and he was talking about that Lloyd Noble. And he was talking about Oklahoma's program because we were wondering, in terms of the history of the program and the great teams they've had down through the years, how it could fall into such disrepair. And he said, first of all, they don't have a lot of NIL money because they're not a great priority there. Secondly, the building is a total dump. And thirdly, it's a next to impossible job under the current circumstances. And it sounds to me like you're sort of confirming that. He also went on to say that fire might have made several $1,000s worth of improvement to that section that it burned up.
I don't know about that. The fire was pretty contained, and they got it put out pretty quickly. But to everything else he said, yes, I agree. I think the good thing is there's feels like some room for optimism now about what men's basketball could be in the future, because OU recently just hired a new athletic director, Roger Denny, who came from Illinois and worked pretty closely with Brad Underwood there. And that's like priority number one for Roger Denny as he gets settled is figure out how to fix men's basketball. And obviously I think the new arena will be a big piece of that, because if you get that thing built here within the next 4 or 5 years and, there can be some real, excitement generated from just that alone. But then the reality is that, they do need more NIL money. And I think, Roger Denny, having known, having had his Illinois basketball experience and known what that means to the university there in Champaign-Urbana, but also, what it takes to be competitive at the top of the Big Ten. He in theory should really apply a lot of his knowledge here to be able to say, okay, men's basketball hasn't had enough resources. We need to get this thing back on the map, because it's supposed to be a revenue sport. And in the last physical year, they went from, year over year, they went from fairly profitable with men's basketball to last physical year running a deficit. Oh. So they need to get that thing trending back in the right way financially for sure. And I think, Roger Denny will move swiftly to make that happen.
On the way out, and I love you, Mason, because I'm going to get you back. I really want to unpack football with you at some point. I hope you'll come back in the next few weeks once we get into a little closer to the spring. But man, they've got to be sky high there heading into next season in terms of the prospects.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think based on the schedule you had last year, I think a lot of people are looking at what ultimately happened with getting to the college football playoff as
incredible,
sort of an overachievement in a lot of ways, especially when, you lost to Ole Miss at home. You were sitting there with 2 losses. You had to win out to get in, and you go on the road and beat Tennessee and Alabama.
Incredible.
And then come back home and duke it out, survive Missouri and LSU to get in. It really was a pretty remarkable turnaround. And so, now there's just like stability, and it's like, how can we make this thing, better to keep gaining? They fired the tight ends coach that had been ineffective for several years, and they brought in Jason Witten to coach the tight ends, which is kind of crazy and maybe is making some Tennessee fans a little bit jealous, perhaps. But they did that. They've got they've got a new cornerbacks coach. They just this morning they hired Dylan McCullough, Raiders, Notre Dame, Chiefs, as their new running backs coach. That's a big hire for them. So and they really attacked the portal at a lot of key areas of need, tight end and receiver, especially just upgrading the talent.
A lot of urgency,
on offense, because it seems like they were lacking a little bit in that regard last year. I think the thing that this coming season will ultimately hinge on is what will John Mateer's improvement be?
That's
his second year as OU quarterback, because last year was some really good early, then the thumb injury, and then it was a pretty brutal watch down the stretch. So what kind of gains with his mechanics and his decision making can he make going into 2026?
His decision making, his decisions in that playoff game. I mean, my God bless him. But what in the world, man? I mean, I know it's real easy to sit on your couch and watch it and go, I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't have done a couple of things he did in the game if you're trying to win games. But at any rate, listen, I really appreciate you, Mason. If folks want to reach out, and what % chance do you give the Sooners of springing the upset this evening?
Probably like 10%, and that might be generous.
If folks want to read your work and interact with you, how do they do so?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Mason_Young_0, and you can read my work at TulsaWorld.com or OUSportsExtra.com.
You're kind of the man, and I hope you have a Dwight Gooden, and a real pleasure talking with you.
Of course. Thanks again for having me on.
Thank you. The great Mason Young. Brian, I love him. That guy's a bright guy. And Sean Sinclair.
We found another golden.
Oh, he's golden.
Line tone.
He's golden. Hey, Cinco, they touched the playoffs there, taste the playoffs. They loaded up in the portal and went crazy and upgraded their staff. And, you got to strike while the iron's hot in these sports. And they did it last year against a very difficult schedule as well. Say that for the Sooners.
They did, and we kind of, we had some in our game. We kind of launched them.
Yep.
With a was it a fumble six, a pick six, or whatever it was, and it really gave them some tailwind going in to make the playoffs.
The great Watson Brown. We have so much to talk about with him. Do you realize that a sitting head coach from the MAC at Northern Illinois just took a position coach job in the NFL this morning, or might have happened late yesterday? I mean, what are we doing, guys? As the MAC announces that it's stretched now from – who joined the MAC, Bri? Who do we say? There was a team
UMass to Sacramento.
There you go. UMass to Sacramento.
By the way, speaking of, Jackson Lampley has taken a position with Clark Lee staff at Vanderbilt. He's going to serve as an assistant offensive line coach for the Commodores.
Let's go, man. Let's go, Lampley family. Let's go. I'm happy for him. That's cool, man. Brad's a good dude. Good for him, man. I hope he gets in it. We need people like the Lampleys in coaching. We need good people. That's great, man. I'm glad to hear that as we continue with more on the other side right after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufan Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufan.com. That's Gufan.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufan Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike champion Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly. If you would have told me when I was a kid that I was going to get an opportunity when I was going to the Tennessee Vanderbilt games and Watson Brown was over there, and I loved, because Cinco and I talk about this, his offense back in the day and how he would take a team, that was kind of like undermanned at Vandy in those days, and they would go out there and just play your socks off, and he had all this really cool things he did on offense that were so ahead of the curve. Just so thoughtful. And then you were to tell me, hey, one day you're going to get a chance to be on this with this guy once a week. I mean, I just want to acknowledge that, how great God is, and give me an opportunity to do this and just approach today's segment with a spirit of gratitude with my man Watson Brown. Because Watson, against that backdrop, they sure have taken a really fun, precious thing in college football, and they sure have destroyed it and charred it. Presented by our friends, and that's how I like my steaks cooked, by the way. I would take a premium steak from Simpson's Meats, Watson, and I would, if I'm eating steak, I burn it, okay, to the core, which I know a lot of people, but that's what they're doing to college football right now. I wake up today, and a coach from Northern Illinois, as I welcome Watson Brown, and I want your thoughts on this, just took a job to be a running backs coach with the New Orleans Saints. And then this week, Sacramento State is now a member of the MAC. And then Brian Hartman, you told me what about Northern Illinois? This is incredible. Go ahead, Brian.
They are joining the Mountain West Conference in football only beginning in 2026.
Watson, what have we done to college sports, college football, college sports in general? I don't even know who's in what league.
All I can say, Tony, first of all, let me say, I only burn bad steaks. A good steak from Simpson's, I eat pretty rare.
So you're not going to do that.
Matter of fact, I had one last night.
Let's go.
We had one last night, and it was absolutely just melt in your mouth. So the better the steak, the less I cook it, to be very honest.
So they began at Simpson's Meats on their farm, just a family tradition with the great Jim Simpson. I was in a small group with him. He's one of the great guys of all time, but his family farm since 1888. And here's the thing, whether it's steaks or burgers, sausages, roast chicken, they have so much stuff at their butcher shop, from milk to honey to jam to eggs and more. And I was talking with the great Sam Bruce the other day, and I'm going to be treating family and friends to some gift boxes from Simpson's here, just like the great Watson Brown. They also ship and will sell you in bulk a half cow or a quarter cow as well But Watson, I don't want to have a cow over what's happening in major college sports, but geez Louise, man. I mean, what are we doing here?
Nothing but change. And I mean, it's change. And now we're going to have to see if all this is going to stabilize and we don't lose all the amateur sports we've watched as we've grown up. And that's what scares me. First of all, it's not amateur anymore. You don't even call it that. And so it is a form of the pro sport now, and especially football and basketball. I think those two, and baseball's getting there. Softball is getting there. Women's basketball is getting there. And I'm just telling you, the change scares me, but we'll see where it ends up. But what I think is happening, Tony, is everybody's trying to guess, educated guess on how this thing is going to all fall out, and they're trying to get in a spot to where they'll be where they think's best for them. And boy, everybody's jumping everywhere. Now we've been watching FCS schools leave and go up to FBS for many, many years now. Matter of fact, we were FCS when we started football, basically scholarship football at UAB. We were FCS one year and then went up ourselves. And we're in Conference USA, but you can go look at all the schools there's a bunch of them that went FCS up. I think what's happening a little bit with this FCS stuff is they're having to get money to win championships too. They're having to go raise money to pay their kids to win championships too. And I think they're saying, gosh, it's going to be a lot easier to do this from the FBS level than it is from this FCS level. Our fans would pay more for that than I think they will this. And North Dakota State, to me, is the one that did make sense. They've won. They've
been ready.
So many championships.
Yeah, they've been ready, and they have the facility. They
have their player ready also, and their money ready, and I think their fans are ready. I think they're getting bored. If they don't win it all, then it's been a real bad year, and so I thought they made a lot of sense in what they're doing.
They remind me, Watson, of James Madison when they made that jump. James Madison was ready for that jump. That was obvious that
there's
James
been
Madison was ready.
Troy did that.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern did that. App State did that. Some of those that have been winning big, it just makes sense to me. Now, some of the ones that haven't, and then you make that jump, then you end up just being an also ran forever. You just can't get over the hump. So I still think it's not a general, if you're FCS, you got to get moved up. It's certain FCS that need to move up, and some need to stay where they are and try to compete on that level. But there's going to be a third level, and that group of five is going to have a championship. It's going to happen. Guys, how in the world can the group of fives, they can't possibly, they can't come up with the money to get to the Power Five to be able to compete with those guys.
Well,
so
what I don't
it's
understand,
just going to have to happen.
What I don't understand, Watson, is why they didn't do what Rick Pitino's talked about, which is you represent your university. You want to bring all this money back to your university. We don't have to reconfigure these leagues and all these sports. We could have just set apart college football, and all these teams could have joined the college football league, however it's structured, right? And then let everybody else have geographical integrity. Because here's what we've done. You know, like you're Mick Cronin now. You've got to fly to Piscataway, New Jersey. You've got to fly to Seton Hall. You've got to fly to Maryland. You've got to fly to Penn State. You've got to fly to, flying to Michigan from Los Angeles is a hell of a flight. Or
I've
Columbus,
done it.
Ohio.
Recruiting. In my Vanderbilt days, I did that a bunch, and it's a killer. It's an absolute killer. And I just think, Tony, that's what's when I said things have got to stabilize out at some point. I think that's going to be one of the things that happens. They got to separate football.
Got to.
Because that's the money. They're bringing in much more money than basketball is. And they've got to separate the football and then let the other sports stay in that conference and football be in a conference of its own, like the NFL. That's what's got to go down, in my opinion. But yet they're still bringing that money into the school, and it's passed around to all the sports, but those sports get to stay now and play regionally, which the fans would love a lot better and everything. I understand the football thing. We all get it. It's not going to go back. There's going to be more end up in the Big Ten and the SEC before it's all said and done.
Yes.
Wouldn't we all say right now that even in the Power Fours, there's two conferences better than the other two, and much better than the other two. Now there's a team in that other in the Big 12, or there's a team in the ACC, but top to bottom, the Big Ten and the SEC, and they're the ones bringing in the most money. They're even now better, in my opinion, top to bottom, than the ACC and the Big 12. And it doesn't mean like a team like Miami or Texas Tech doesn't still get there, but I think you're going to see the Miamis and the Texas Tech in the Big 10 or the SEC at some point, not tomorrow, but at some point. And what Rick is saying, Coach Tino is saying, he's absolutely right. And I think it'll get back to that. I don't know when.
Because
but sooner or later, they're going to realize we can't do this.
Well, here's the thing.
We can't do this.
Maryland lost, I think it was Rutgers said they lost $40 million last year. Maryland lost like 25. It hasn't been the panacea for these athletic departments they thought it would. And I was telling the because you wore the athletic director hat. If you take a team and say you're going to do the LA two-step, you're going to go to USC, UCLA like these teams do when as a group, say you're flying your women's team out there and you're flying 15 athletes, and now you've got the 10 coaches behind the bench, and God knows what, and I'm not trying to talk anybody out of work, but God knows what these people are doing. None of them on Kim Caldwell's staff can yell, get back on defense. I know that after watching last night's game. But anyway, that's another story for another day. When you got the 10 people behind the bench and you got the 15 athletes and the 5 assistant coaches that sit over there, Coach, that's not cheap. I got Maury Hanks on my brain. That's not cheap, Watson Brown, is it?
Heavens, no, it's not cheap. And now you add cost of living where you're paying your athletes more.
Yes.
Your collective where you now got to go raise that. And if you can't, then you don't win.
What are we doing?
Then you start losing more money. It's going to be interesting to see in time these schools that just don't have the cash to keep up, if they'll end up staying. Will Rutgers, I don't want to pick on them because it's year to year. I understand that.
They're losing millions.
If you can't keep up, you're going to be out, and Texas Tech's going to take your place. I'm telling you, that's the next step here, is they're just going to try to strengthen their conference. And does that mean throw somebody out? I mean, you better be keeping up with the Joneses, or you could be flipped out and you could end up a group of 5, or you could end up in one of these other, like the ACC or something. And I believe it'll end up being 2, not tomorrow. It'll take maybe I'll be gone before it happens, but I think that's what it'll end up being. I don't see any other way, because these TVs are controlling everything. And that money's going to just keep going up. And the more big name schools that are really good, that can play each other week to week, where they can sell that, that's what they want. And the conferences are going to try to do that to get as much money as they can get. Just watch it. But something's got to stabilize at some point, guys, in my opinion. And that's coming from my AD hat more than even my coaching hat.
Well, it's crazy. What we're doing here, we've made a total mess. We've totally destabilized these sports. I do this for a living. I had no idea Northern Illinois was in the new whatever they are. And by the way, Watson, it's the group of 6 now. We got used to saying group of 5.
Yeah, I know.
Because we have we have a newly configured, Bri, what are they calling the new Pac whatever conference? And who's in it, Bri? Bri's a sicko. Bri knows these things.
Well, Oregon State, Washington State, I think Utah State, maybe San Diego State, Boise State.
Yep.
I think it's the new look Pac-12 or something, and I probably butchered some of the teams in it. But
here's the thing, Watson. on a Saturday night when we're in here, God willing, doing the Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction football program, I'll be watching that West Coast football. That's why they're doing it. They're doing it for the television. Television wants it. There's an insatiable appetite in the American sports fan for football. I'm a believer that if 1AA football played a spring schedule, they'd get a pretty good number for it. Now, you can laugh at that if you want, but the year they did it over COVID, when they played that spring schedule, they got pretty good numbers on television. I think people would look at it if it at that level they took it and made it a spring sport. Now, you can laugh at that.
Well, and I've said all along, and it's either Wednesday or Friday, even if the FCS just played games on those days, and they got TV package for it, and they would. They would. They'd get TV packages, and that would even be better for the FCS, in my personal opinion. I know that any time that I've been at 2 of them as head coaches, and anytime we played a Thursday night game, usually early in the season, you play on a Thursday night. It was by far, it wasn't even close to our best crowds. 100% so. I fought with the OVC when I was at Tech in my latter years to do that, and they just wouldn't go there. And I get it. I understand that's a big step, but I think you're right. The FCS is if they're going to try to make any money at all, and if you're going to make any money today, Tony, it's got to be through television.
You got to carve out your own niche. You got to carve out your own niche. That's exactly right, Coach.
You got to do it. Got to. Why did Conference USA grew big time? Because we started playing on Wednesday, Thursday, and even all the way to Friday nights.
Yep. And the MAC does
and then
Tuesday
what
thing.
happened?
Yep.
What happened is all those teams left. They moved up. I mean, they're all going now to stronger conferences like the AAC or whatever.
That's pretty great.
But we made Conference USA special by doing that. And that was a big step. And I was at UAB when that happened. And we probably played half our games in the middle of the week. Watson. But I can tell you this, my best crowds at UAB were in the middle of the week. They weren't Saturday because those people were going to watch Alabama and Auburn play. Or they were watching television with Alabama playing LSU or whatever. Best crowds I ever had. I had a Friday night one playing TCU, and we had 38,000. That's a big crowd at UAB. And that was on a Friday night.
The great Watson Brown's firing me up. He's focusing me and preparing me. In a second, I want to get into this handshake thing. I got to keep it legal.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Great Watson Brown joining. It's a Wednesday with Watson. It's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Now, Watson, a lot of people are making a lot out of this. I'm not one of them, but I don't know what to make of it. But this Kim Caldwell at Tennessee's having a very interesting tenure so far, to say the least. Danny White brought her in here. She's okay compensated. She's got a very high payroll in her sport, which we've talked about here. They don't play connected. It's not real team-oriented. It's kind of helter-skelter. She makes line change shifts like you're watching a hockey game. It's very slipshod and odd, but the stuff off the court, like last week, she called her team some quitters, and that was kind of odd. And then last night she did a thing, and I'm going to ask you about this. Post-game decorum, okay? You've been involved in many games. I'm sure you've been very urinated off at the end of football games, and you got to go out and shake that other person's hand, and you kind of think that person's a low-life scum. Or maybe you're mad at your own team and you just want to get off the field. But last night, she did the ultimate blow-by to this gal at Ole Miss who just looks like such a nice, likable, gregarious person. They call her Coach Yo. Kim Caldwell ran by her. She, like, borderline didn't even acknowledge her. She just slapped her hand and kept walking. And the gal kind of looked back. She was kind of surprised, like, did I do something? Is my breath bad? You know, that whole thing. Here's the thing. Have you ever had a deal like post-game where either you or somebody across from the field showed their rear end like that? Because that is kind of what that is. No offense to Kim Caldwell. And have you ever done it yourself? Like things that you that you regret, like post game?
No.
No.
I always shook the hand. Now there'd be times I might want to slug him. And I've had him feel the same way about me, I'm sure too, but no, I went through the motion and did it and said congratulations or whatever. Even if I wanted to say something to him, I didn't do it there. I might do it in conference meetings later in the spring, or if there's something I really wanted to say, I might pick up the phone on Sunday and call him and talk to him, but I never, ever created, because you got press all around you, man. It's just not the place to do it.
Yes.
It's not. Ethically, I just think that's wrong. And so, no, I didn't do that. I wanted to. I wanted to walk straight by them and not shake some hands over some things. A lot of times with mine, it was recruiting. You've had some issues with them in recruiting where you thought some shady things happened and you didn't get this kid or whatever. And so you go in kind of pissed off anyway, excuse my language.
No, and you want to get off the court.
A lot of times it wasn't even something that happened during the game.
Yeah.
But because it's so competitive, and it's not just competitive that Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
It's competitive 365 days a year.
Well, I was thinking about it last night.
Rivalries get big, man, and they get personal. They get real personal.
Well, how about now? You're recruiting players off my roster, because I was watching that Coach O after that happened. And
Geez,
she's
I don't
over
know how
there.
to do it now. I wouldn't be very good at it.
She's handshaking. She's handshaking and hugging Lady of all players. This gal is like the coach from their team, and and of course she won. And it was a pretty one-sided game, and I guess she's feeling pretty good about herself. But
they're pretty good. I watched a lot of the game.
Yeah, that's sort of
Ole Miss is pretty good.
Yeah.
Now Tennessee gives up a lot of easy points.
Yeah,
but Ole Miss is pretty good now. I wouldn't. That's I think they're one of the better coached teams in the league. I like watching her teams play.
Explain to me what Tennessee's doing through your coaching eye, and you played that sport.
It's different, and when you do things differently, and they don't work, and what do you call not working? I mean, they're still fairly high in the conference, but that place is a place that you just it's Alabama today. I mean, it's you've got to win in women's basketball at Tennessee. There's way too much tradition and deep love for that program through the Big Orange, and it's different. You cannot be in a football term. You can't be 9-3-8-4. You just can't do it, and it's been a while since they've been to Pat Summitt's level. There's no doubt about that. And they've been through now 3 coaches, I guess. Yep. But it's tough. It's just like what the Boar's going through right now. I mean, it's very hard. Same thing will happen when he quits in women's basketball. It's going to be the same deal. And I wouldn't doubt they go after the young lady at Vanderbilt right now. She's done a really good job and played there. But still, I just wouldn't want to follow that. I told you I just about did. I just about did as the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Matter of fact, I took the job with Ray Perkins, and then the University of Cincinnati offered me the head job, and I went ahead and went there instead. And I would have tasted this, and I promise you it's not easy.
Watson Brown, you're my man. I love you. I appreciate you. Tonight, our Tennessee basketball Vols are back at it with Oklahoma. And then Saturday, Memorial Magic in full bloom. Tennessee at Vandy. The great George Plaster is getting his voice back. Praise God. Yeah. I was on with him yesterday. He asked me about that game. Hey, listen, this guy at Vanderbilt can coach.
He's doing a great job. And I'm telling you, I've watched 8 million teams come through that gym.
Yeah.
It's so different that it just messes with you.
Yeah.
And it's the gym to me. That's what it is. It's you just don't shoot. Teams have come in and out of there, and they just don't shoot well. Now, all of a sudden, somebody will, and they play well. But most of the time, you don't shoot well in that gym. It's just so different. Your coach is standing in a different place a lot. The floor's wide. You're a long ways away from – there's out of bounds are real wide. I mean, it's just different, Tony. and that's why I would never change it there. I'd play in that gym till it fell apart because it's a tough place to go play.
Watson, you're my man. I love you, and I appreciate you, brother.
Love you guys. Always an honor.
And once again, he's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. All right, Cinco, and I want to remind you one more time about Simpson's Meats. These premium gift box you can ship anywhere in the world, simpsonsmeats.com. Go over and look at all the different offerings they have. And it's a really nice gesture, or maybe you want to stop out yourself if you're local and go check out their butcher shop right there off Level Road, where they've got steaks and burgers and sausages and the best our community has to offer. Just an old school butcher shop there. Milk, honey, jam, eggs, you name it, they've got it. Absolutely next level. But that Memorial Magic bribe, do you believe in it? Or will it be for them on Saturday afternoon, Memorial Tragic, Brian?
Well, the Oklahoma team that's coming in here tonight didn't believe in it.
Nope.
And Florida didn't believe in it. So it's been done this year.
Robert Hazelwood says if they got Ralph from Vanderbilt, she'd be a proven commodity. They won't take much of a step back with her. She's going to be a hot commodity, Bri, in that sport.
You got to wonder if Gino, if they win another title, he might think, it looks like my replacement's ready. Yep. And could he possibly retire?
Yep, I'm getting out. Let me tell you something else.
Good as time as any to get out.
And then we'll go to the phones.
Champs.
And then we'll go to the phones. That Oklahoma team, they don't play hard. They sometimes play. I don't know how these coaches, Sean, do this in this era, man, basketball coaches. Because we've had, in like successive weeks, we've had multiple coaches cutting multiple promos. The guy at Kansas State's promo that he cut on his team was so bad that they're firing the guy for cause over the promo, Cinco. When he said these guys won't be back here next year, basically they're firing Jerome Tang for his comments. So great, Brian Hartman. So great. This era we're living in.
He'll turn around and sue probably, and I would say he got a good chance to get his money.
We got pickup ball going. Hey, Sean, I don't think that job of being a college basketball coach has ever been tougher than it is right now, because these kids are going to unplug on you when it didn't go in their way. It's just the way it is.
That may be the case, but you know what? Great leaders lead. Everything changes. Kids change. Yep. Rules change. Circumstances change. The great leaders lead. And it's what I would say to Kim Caldwell is, they don't know how much they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And some things that I'm seeing there just don't add up. That's a lot of these things should be handled internally. They should be handled, at practice, et cetera. Rick Barnes has been doing this so long, and he'll yank someone out and give them the business and everything. And he's kind of earned that because he has a long Hall of Fame career of it working out, and he has enough people in his life that show that, hey, I appreciate the way I was coached. But I think those are all excuses. It's you picked the team. It may have been picked because of budget or whatever, but you picked the team and go coach him. I will never forget. He had his weaknesses and his faults, but when Bruce Pearl came here, he said that someone was asking him about something like, what do you look for in your players, or when are you going to get your players? So, and he just, no, when I took the job, these are my players. These are my players, and I'm going to coach them to the best of their ability. I've never forgotten that. And I think a lot of coaches, should start looking at people rather than systems.
Very interesting. 865-200-5402. If you have a thought on anything that we've discussed so far, I'd love to talk to you. It's extremely interesting when you look around and you consider what's going on, But let's go ahead and go to the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Doc. Hey, Brian. How's it going?
Hey, Columbo. Good to talk to you, man. You coming in for the game tonight?
No. I think I'm going to come for the last game.
The Vandy game?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I'll be there.
That'll be lights out, man. That'll be lights out that day.
So the handshake heard around the world that our people are now turning into like the Kennedy assassination. Like,
Columbo!
That happens thousands of times. Like, it's all being made this big deal because the Lady Vols cost us Tony Vitello. That's the issue, Tony. And look, I think Danny White went cheap on the coaching hire and said we'll load the roster up around her. It hasn't worked.
Yeah.
And okay. But none of that has anything to do with why Tony Vitello left. And the people that say that are just totally illogical.
If I could turn back time, let me talk on that real quick. If I could turn back time, quoting Cher, one thing that I would not have done is linked Tony Vitello's dissatisfaction publicly with them clawing some money back from him, which was accurate, by the way, for NIL purposes for Kim Caldwell. Because in retrospect, it's just me, and I'm an old dog. I can learn new tricks, but in retrospect, that put a bullseye on her that she doesn't deserve. Because here's the truth. Tony's relationship with Danny White was so bad that he was going to leave anyway. But when the San Francisco Giants offer you their job, this is the reality in the world we live in, you're leaving. It's like the coach at Arkansas told Tony, which the coach at Arkansas told the San Francisco Examiner, you're going to carry the banner for all of us. No one from our sport has ever been offered this opportunity. So you have to take it. But the fact is, his relationship with Danny White was non-existent, which Danny White admitted, by the way. Danny White.
Tony.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't care if they were having Christmas dinner together. It's irrelevant. He was never not taking that job. Ever. Now, this argument, he put women's basketball third in rev share. Yeah, so did LSU. So did Texas.
I should have never done that. I should have never have linked.
I
shouldn't have done that. I should not have linked.
Who have much deeper
that wasn't fair of me.
Baseball pedigree than we have.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
If you're going to say it's all about Kim Mulkey, well, Florida and Texas A&M did it too. Now, Arkansas is doing it different because Arkansas knows they're up against it in football. More from a booster infighting than money. But they said, okay, in this era, we're not going to win a title in football.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to make a playoff. But we could be uber elite in basketball and baseball. And their people pack 10,000 in that stadium every night.
You're right.
They took 10,000 down to Arlington for that showcase, which were completely meaningless games.
You're
Win
right.
or lose, does not affect their season at all. They took 10,000 down there, that thing in Arlington.
Guys, I don't know why, Sean, more of these programs don't pick a sport, a soft target, and say we're going to win a national championship in it, Sean. And we're going to spend, and we're going to win a national championship in it. Oklahoma in gymnastics, the guest we had last hour, is a good example of that. Just pick a soft target and go spend and go win a natty in it. Why wouldn't you do that,
Tony,
Sean? Go ahead.
And Mississippi State, they're really up against it in football.
Yes.
What do? They went and poached Virginia's coach. They're paying a ton for their roster. They have the best facility in the country. Now, it puts a lot of pressure on Mississippi State baseball to carry the banner for the entire town,
That's
school,
right.
whatever.
That's right.
But we don't have to do that at Tennessee because we have a lot of money.
Hey, Cinco, he's right, isn't it?
Well, I think, we can get lost in that does make sense, but it can be a little myopic. Your athletic department is the welcome mat of your university. It is the primary driver of donations. It has been shown since Doug Flutie won the Heisman Trophy that is the primary driver of student applications
like
for the next year.
Yep.
And so, that's fine if you want to concentrate on baseball at Mississippi State. If you want to concentrate on Oklahoma softball, that's great for the little focus group that cheers for those people. But for the vast majority, no one cares or could recite to you who won gymnastics the last 10 years, who won softball, et cetera. And spending all that money, while it may look like Ohio State's done well, and it's certainly it has raised the profile of Texas Tech, doesn't guarantee you a national championship. I for one, would rather have a program that competes for championships, knowing full well that I'm not going to expect one every year. But I respect anybody's choice to how they view that.
Kind of like Rick Barnes basketball. Rick Barnes basketball, man, gets up every day and competes for a championship.
And Tony, if you go look at Arkansas, where does their women's basketball program sit right now? I'll save you the time. They're dead last in the NCAA, in the SEC.
Spend no money.
Now, you tell me a universe where the Tennessee Lady Volunteer basketball program, where it would be palatable to anybody for it to be sitting last in the SEC.
You're right.
People would lose their minds. I know people don't care about it.
You're right.
I really don't care about it.
You're right.
A lot of people do care about it.
You're right.
They'd lose their mind.
You're right.
This idea that thank you, that the rev share thing, it's just so that Arkansas did it for a reason. And this idea that Tony, Vitello got emotional because he saw Tennessee play, and once he doesn't play a game for 6 weeks, a game that counts for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
He'll be fine once he's back in the groove of it.
He got emotional.
And he got emotional.
Yep.
And once his season starts,
yes,
Tony, unless Tennessee makes a College World Series or wins it all, and he gives them a quick shout out, he's not going to mention us again.
Hey, I got invited because they know I'm got a relationship with the guy, but they invited me to two different media outlets in San Francisco last day, and I hate to say this, but I ignored both of them because I don't want to say no, and I'm just gonna lay low. I don't want to go on there and say, "Hey, look, Tony's an emotional." I don't want to do all that. But
no.
Columbus, you nailed it. You nailed it. The guy got emotional. Go ahead, Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark. I know at the beginning of your call, which I always appreciate, you kind of did a little hyperbolic thing about the brush off handshake, but and again, that's what sports talk does. I mean, we overreact to everything. However, in fairness, I think as part coach, you're setting an example for your players. And these players she may be frustrated. She may be at her wits' end with these players, but still, not only just being paid, she's in a position where she sets an example for the behavior and for the representation of the fan base. And I think has her behavior had nothing to do with Tony Vitello, in my opinion. I just think she's in a bad streak, but I don't think she's above reproach with us criticizing the way she handled it. That was embarrassing.
No, I thought it's awful, and she picked those players.
Absolutely.
So it's on her, and she's had a reputation for being kind of a sore loser all the way back to Marshall, from what I've kind of read up on her. This is kind of par for the course. She's probably in a little over her head. I think if he had a do-over, he'd go get somebody with a little more, high major experience and go that route.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
Let me ask you guys this: Does Dr. White does he double down on this? He doesn't like to be shown to be wrong. He doesn't like to regather. What do you think he does with this?
I mean, if she makes the tournament, I don't think you could fire her. Can you? I mean, what did Harper go last year? Was she bad?
No, but respectfully, when he has been shown this kind of thing, he starts sniping on social media with fans, defending himself. And do you think that comes into play, or do you think, like Tony says, he gets one of his lieutenants to kind of manage her and coach her a little bit?
Well, he needs to get off social media. no athletic director coach should be handled by an assistant. Stay off of it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like you're right. It was embarrassing. You can't act like that. You're getting paid a lot of money, honey, to coach women's basketball. Get it together.
Money, honey.
You got your ass kicked. Deal with it. You know.
Hey, Columbo, appreciate you, brother. Good. Hey,
yep.
More power to you, brother. Look forward to seeing you Vandy weekend.
All right, buddy.
See you, Shepard. He called in and called it the what did he say? We're acting like it's the Kennedy assassination. Let's go. 865-200-5402. Money, honey. Somebody already has that title. I think that's that Maria Bartiromo, I think. Used to be on CNBC back in the day. We have a lot to talk about. Very little time to get there. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. Oklahoma's in town tonight. Brian, can I read something to you from the Puerto Rican Willie Stargell? Who is, you got to admit that.
Maybe there's a Puerto Rico, Oklahoma, like a town named Puerto Rico.
You got to admit.
I'll look that up.
You got to admit, because Willie Stargell, we come to find out, was an Oklahoman. I had him pegged as a Puerto Rican. When Bino told me that Roberto Clemente was Dominican, Puerto Rican Willie Stargell says the following: the conversation of picking and choosing what sport you're going to be good in legitimizes Volcats and Hoosier Vols, etc. If schools can pick and choose what sport they're going to compete or not compete in, it makes more sense for fans to pick different SKOOS, SKOOS, to cheer for in each sport. Now, do we give Puerto Rican Willie Stargell, Bry, extra credit and a copper card for working the term SKOOS into that rant? Yes or no, Bry?
It's never acceptable to cheer for two schools that are huge hated rivals.
You mean SKOOS? You mean SKOOS?
SKOOS, yes.
But I
get what he's saying, but it's still not acceptable.
Brian Hartman wrote a piece today. I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be a spring of winning. I don't know what our basketball teams are going to do in the tournament. I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. I don't have a crystal ball in here. Okay. I'm not 2-4-7 or on 3 looking into my crystal ball. I will tell you this. That Lady Vol softball team, somebody going to fail that. Okay. And this baseball team, Cinco, could be one of our best yet.
Well, I think they're a team that's easily going to entertain us and really provide a connection for the fans.
No doubt about it. And so to Puerto Rican Guillermo Stargell, Joshy Boy's copper card is in the mail, my friend. Joshy Boy texted me.
Right.
Joshy Boy texted me last night and he said, I sent you my address. I haven't gotten my copper card. I turned to Laura last night and I said, Joshy Boy hadn't gotten the copper card yet. She said, you never gave me his address, you dumb. Brian, do you like it? She said, you never gave me his address.
That's like typing a text message and then never sending it, like never hitting send.
Joshy Boy, I'm going to give.
Stay by the mailbox, Joshy Boy.
Joshy Boy, I'm going to give you Laura's phone number. You guys, you can deal direct. You can deal direct. You can deal direct. All right, we're going to go right to the phones at 865-200-5402. It is your Basilio Show on a Wednesday. And get well soon to my man, Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon, I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your efforts. And please get well, my man, if you're out there listening. Matt yesterday, here's how tough this guy is. Okay, let me brag on Matt for a second. He left yesterday's show right to the emergency room. He was in such pain while he was doing yesterday's show. He's having like a back issue. They thought he had kidney stones. Thank God he doesn't. But he's got like a sciatica back issue thing, which I went through last summer, and it's totally debilitating. It's awful. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Shout out to Zach Lawson, who's gone through a back thing as well. Vandy Joe's been through it. A lot of people have been through it. It is It's humbling is what it is. It is a humbling thing to go through living in this world. Because when you're laying on the floor and you can't get off of it, it's pretty humbling. Let's go to the phones. So shout out to you, Matt Dixon, rather. You played in pain. Maury Hanks is going to be on the post game tonight with us on Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Maury Hanks, a multi-year NBA scout, runs his own basketball company called Global Sports. Tennessee's played in his tournament before. I believe, Brian, didn't Doug and Jaxie come off the floor one night and high-five one of our players after making a shot? Brian,
yeah, that was Lamonte Turner who beat, I think, Virginia Commonwealth at the buzzer that year.
Let's go.
Right before COVID hit.
Let's go,
and Doug
Maury
and Jackson,
Hanks.
you could see him
Doug
down
and
there.
Jackson, he lost his mind.
Yeah.
He was there in
beautiful.
And he had like his orange and white getup. I think he had like his long underwear thing that he wears, that getup he wears sometimes to football. Didn't he have that on? And his bald head was shining like the sun in the middle of the day.
No, it was awesome.
Doug and Jackson, you inspired me to shave my head, man. You are one sexy bald man, if I can say that in mixed company here. You're looking good, my man. You're looking good. Oh, let's go back to our phones. Sean, what area does this baseball team need to grow, in your humble opinion, when you look at them? What are need areas? Do they have any need areas? Because they are so
experience.
Deep. Experience.
I think the pitchers need time on the mound, and I think the other guys just need experience. We've got even with a program that's usually, if you're great, you're only around 3 years, or 2 if you're draft eligible. You got the guys that have transferred in seem to have adjusted well, and we're still looking at guys that are finding themselves. Abernathy had a nice night last night. Newstrom's going to hopefully pick it up. Grimmer when he gets back. So we got a lot of guys that are new to the spotlight that just need time, and I think they'll deliver. I could easily see this team as an Omaha team. I think I'm definitely excited about the pitching. They have a number of guys that I think can help. And the thing that's really struck me the past week or so is that the young guys, Biodo, some of the freshman guys, they don't look scared. Appenzeller's easy, but some of these other guys don't look scared at all. And I think that's going to serve us well the rest of the year.
Hey, these guys, like Tony told me about the kid from Pennsylvania who told me the same thing. When you go get the bets, a lot of these guys are so seasoned now because they don't just stay in their communities. They play the best competition in the world. Some of these guys play international baseball by the time they get to this stage. And that kid last year had his moments. He's a totally different animal right now, Sean, back for his sophomore year as a starting pitcher, leading that staff. I mean, he's really so next level.
And Mac, excuse me, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Go ahead.
No, and Landon Mack, it's relative, but he was a high ticket transfer to get here, wanted by everybody.
Yep.
And the fact, and the same recruiting class, I believe, as Coons, but the way those two guys seem to have a healthy competition to bring it, whereas a lot of those same guys might just be, hey, I'm a Friday guy, period. It's just really neat. And then also the youngster that transferred in from transferred in from Virginia, who's taken the experienced Sunday role.
Blanco.
What a case study of maturity and just an example for the whole thing. So, I'm absolutely impressed with Elander. Am I fluffing him a little bit?
Sure you are. You're a fluffer.
Yeah, but he's been here 9 years, 10 years, or I think that's right, or about that.
Yeah.
And the guy, and the guy just oozes. He just oozes confidence in his players. He oozes. He reminds me a lot of Pete Carroll, not in the cheating ways, but in the ways of it looks like he wants to bring out the best in every single player that plays for him and let the chips fall where they may.
In honor of him, in honor of Elander, I've taken to grow a little facial hair here.
There you go.
Brian, I've got a little Fu Manchu. You haven't seen it yet.
John Adams. I don't want to either.
Well, I've noticed your eyebrows are on point.
John Adams looked at me and he said, I'm letting my eyebrows grow out too. John Adams said to me, he said, you look like, what are you doing? He goes, that scraggly face, you look awful after the show yesterday. Laura asked me the other day, she said, I give up. What's going on with the chin?
Well, I thought Adams's comment of you being a nut job yesterday was a little over the top.
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Yeah.
There he is, Wildcat Phillip. Brian, a la carte sports fan. He goes a la carte. Nothing wrong with that, Phillip. I got time for that. I honor you. How about the Wildcats? Time out, Phillip. Ladies and gentlemen, your Kentucky Wildcat crisis hotline is now open.
Oh, my God.
How about that loss last night to the Georgia Bulldogs, who were going nowhere fast in your building?
That's bad.
Just when I'm starting to believe in the Wildcat. What are we doing? The Midcats. How mid are they, Phillip? Seriously, how mid are they?
Oh, we're mid. But right now, I wouldn't even say we're a mid. We're about a lower mid. I mean, I think mid is being a little is being genuine, being generous. We're just a bad basketball team.
And you know what's crazy? Y'all got us twice, and it's really colored the way we view our season. You guys have really effed our season up in the eyes of our fan base.
You were talking about this week, and here's what my take is when you're talking about, if you should do the show app, the Garza show. I think with all college sports, the fans have been priced out. The kids are getting paid. The coaches they're getting paid millions, not just getting paid. The coaches are making millions. I think college sports, they've done this to themselves where the fans are no longer going to give any loyalty whatsoever to the kids, coaches, because they're priced out. So for any sport, any team, why should you have the loyalty when you've been priced out of it? I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Totally agree. Mark in Columbus started ripping us for the Kim Caldwell stuff, and then he ended by saying, hey, look, you're making a lot of money, and that's a bad look, and you can't behave that way. And he's exactly right. And we're in the right to be able to say, by the way, she's got like 25 people on her staff, and I'm watching them. I watched a game last night, okay? I'm just – because I can't turn away now. She's made this Lady Vol basketball thing. She's made it real to me. Now, it's not for the right reasons, but she's made it real for me. And so I'm watching her last night, and I'm watching their team not run back, and the other team with the basketball beating them back constantly. Let me tell you something. If I was coaching that team, I would take a timeout, and I would say the next person that gets beat back on defense by the basketball when it's rebounded deep in that side of the court is going to sit over here next to me. We're not doing that anymore. But Oklahoma has a basketball team tonight, and you've seen them where they don't get back on defense. And now we just put up with it. And fans, we're not used to this. We're to your point, we're paying more now forever than ever before to watch this stuff. And it's like they don't respect what they're doing out there.
Well, everything right now in major college sports, no matter the team.
Yep.
And I think with the kids.
Yes.
They're getting no grace right now. And when you start accepting a paycheck.
Yeah.
that's when the grace goes away, and now you're in the real world now.
Hey, how about that Kentucky team? Not that I want to dig at you here, but y'all have a no. Whoa, wait a second here. I can say my nature. Have you ever stopped and thought about, while we're out here working for a living today, that your payroll is $21 million for that? They are paid twice as much as the basketball Vols. Twice as much. Do you have a thought on that?
No, well, it's bad, Tony. But do you have
and they're
a thought?
Unwatchable.
I know, but do you have a thought?
Do you agree
about
that
8
they're
championships?
unwatchable? Do you
and how many Final Fours?
Oh, listen. I love your tradition. I'm jealous of your tradition. I would love that. But you have to admit that our fan base team brings it, brah. You got to admit, Tennessee fans.
Oh, yeah, no,
that night it snowed.
I totally agree with you.
Hey, that night it snowed. Brah, who were we playing that night it snowed?
Stephen Pearl and Auburn.
And they suck out loud, and we had like 17,000 people in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta say that we've got a great basketball fan base. You got to, as a Kentucky fan, you've got to admit that.
No, I agree with you, Tony. I agree with you 100%.
And you also have to believe
when those base, they're starving for a Final Four. They've got everything else.
When those mouth breathers the other night, those mouth breathers were calling my personal cell phone and attacking me. And Philip, they sent me some of the most crass, crude messages because I was calling their team mid. Y'all fan base is like a bunch of golden retrievers that wants to be patted on the top of the head and told that you're the best. I mean, I've never seen a fan base this side of Bama football more in need of the approval of others. Jeez Louise,
Hey,
man.
Tony, one thing kind of attached to that. Mm-hmm. You know what I miss about us sucking so bad in football?
Yep.
You have to admit the call-in shows. The Garza the call-in show afterwards. That was some of the best radio as far as that's some of the funniest callers I've ever heard in my life. I mean, that's the only thing I miss about us sucking so bad in football.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to get back to that. Oh, you mean you just confused me. Us means us, Brian, is in what? What does us mean, Brian? What's he talking about? I thought he was talking about the Wildcats. I was going to tell him.
He's talking about
the
team that wears
Vols.
orange.
Hey, Volcat Phillip, you miss the Vols sucking in football? You're out of here. Speak for yourself. You're an idiot. Kind of an idiot. I thought he was talking about Kentucky. I was like, oh, well, that could be arranged. See, that's what happens when you're an a la carte sports fan and you're having a conversation with these people. You always have to be mindful of what space are we in now? What realm are we talking about? He wants the Vols to suck in football? I'm not sure you're a Volcat anymore. Brian, can he be a Volcat and say something like that out loud?
Well, I'd have more respect if he just became a
Kentucky
fan of football and Kentucky fan of basketball.
Yeah, why don't you become a cat?
That would be respectable to me.
Philip, what we could have is our boy, oh God, what was his name, Brian, that got suspended from our show that we need to unsuspend?
Clay, Fight Club Clay.
Yeah, Fight Club Clay. We could have him baptize you back into Kentucky football. Have like a little ceremony. I mean, it would just be a little painful for you. You can't come on here and say that you want the Vols to go back to that dark ages so you can laugh on a postgame. I wasn't laughing. Clown. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional. Know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey, Tony. Good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the .1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We've got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
There's very little doubt, and thank you, Jennifer, that we're heading for a overtime segment for the ages. But I'll tell you this, it's not going to be a long one. And the reason it's not going to be a long one is we're on the night. And the great Maury Hanks will be with us tonight. And Matt Dixon, get better. I can't call you Matt Diskin now. What's going on with your back? As somebody had pointed out earlier in the blog, or the blog, on YouTube. The blog is the blog. The blog is up today. We got great stuff in the blog today for you. Young Aaron in Morristown writes a really nice piece for us each week. And he wrote something great today about how sometimes winning just, it just kind of isn't enough. And he talks about this Tennessee basketball team and how we all are just having not we all, but a lot of people are having trouble sort of identifying with them, even though they're winning at a really high clip. And I think it's an interesting thing. I